my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode number 22 in the book of Deuteronomy. I love money more than anything, even God. That's the rhetorical question for today, and let's see how that turns out for him. We're going to compare two scriptures, one from 3,500 years ago and another one from 1,000 years or 2,000 years ago, from the Old Testament and the New Testament. Let's go to the Old Testament first. Deuteronomy chapter 8, that's our main passage for today. We'll start in verse 17. Beware lest you say in your heart, so your heart is speaking here, my power and the might of my hand have gotten me this wealth. You shall remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the power to get wealth, that he may confirm his covenant that he swore to your fathers, as it is this day. And if you forget the Lord your God and go after other gods and serve them and worship them, I solemnly warn you today that you shall surely perish, like the other nations that the Lord makes to perish before you. So you shall perish, because you would not obey the voice of the Lord your God. So this guy in the story is saying something in his heart. He's saying, my power, my might, my money. He's saying, I am a self-made man. And he's saying this in his heart. In other words, he's saying it to God. My hand, my power, my wealth. So the passage is usurping who is the boss, who is the Lord, who is the primary on the scale of priority. So he's the giver of power to get money, the Lord says. All right, so having the wrong attitude about money is the same thing as having the wrong attitude to the Lord. So there's this immediate connection in the passage today about doing this area wrong and doing my relationship with God wrong, or doing it right as well. And Moses is begging us to do this right. So remember, from whose might money comes from, it is a mental and a spiritual exercise. So the way you think about money is a spiritual exercise. So in the same sentence is remember the Lord your God, and then characteristics of him. He is the one that gives you power to get wealth. So the practical thing is, don't forget the Lord in your wallet, in your pocketbook, in your 401k, in your financial portfolio, and don't go after other gods and serve them. So idols are generally good things, which are made ultimate things. So for example, saving money is prudent and a good thing. Proverbs has a lot of good things to say about it, but making it the ultimate thing and usurping God from the throne, that's what we don't want. So taken to their extreme, you either end up with either an idol made of gold or an idol that is just plain old gold. So this is echoed in the New Testament passage in 1 Timothy chapter 6. In verse 9, it stands, but those who desire to be rich fall into temptation, into a snare, into many senseless and harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction. For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evils. It is through this craving that some have wandered away from the faith and pierced themselves with many pangs. It's one of the best warning passages in the Bible about money, and the Bible has lots and lots to say about money. So let's start with the wrong attitude's results, just for fun. It says you fall somewhere, and it's into temptation. You fall into a snare. You fall into senseless and harmful desires. The senseless part means it's futile and vain and just plain stupid and pointless. And if you really could think about it, you wouldn't do it. And harmful means that even your wishes, even the desires of your heart can hurt you. Your cravings can be injurious, and your longings can wound you. So this is being plunged into ruin and destruction. So this concept about the love of money, and we're explaining it and saying loving money more than God. So money itself isn't evil. It's the love of money. If you make it an idol and put it above God, then the root of that demonstrates all kinds of other evils. So longing for money results in consequences that go far beyond money. And the worst of all is resulting in wandering from the faith. So if you quit aiming primarily at the person and relationship of God, making that a good goal in your life, if you miss, you will miss that primary mark because you have stopped aiming at it. It makes sense that you don't hit that goal anymore. And one day you find yourself as having wandered away. So I suppose some wander away actively, but I think most would do it non-intentionally. It's like, oops, I lost my faith. I bumbled along and I ended up here. So Deuteronomy says, forgetting God, going after other gods, going after money as a god, serving them results in your perishing, wandering away from the faith, failing the test of continuance. So in the end, in your end, you're not found in him. So it demonstrates not having faith will result in perishing. So then, brothers and sisters, oh my goodness, let's be careful here and don't end up with ruin and destruction, and falling into senselessness and harmful desires and temptation and snares. So don't disregard God and end up in ruin. Don't deprioritize God and be destroyed. Don't worship the idol of money and end up injuring yourself. And don't worship the wrong things and wander from the faith. So in conclusion then, beware what you say in your heart about money, because it reveals idols or potential idols in your life. So what does your heart say about money? Is it everything to you, more than God? And if so, then prepare for a fall into senseless desires, self-harm, and snares. But getting this right and having this we don't want our thoughts about money to negatively affect our relationship with God. So let's get this right. The Lord couldn't be more clear about this. He's been saying the same thing for 3,500 years. Let's be careful. Thanks for listening.